Okay. So for the fourth track, everything is pretty much in standard tuning. Every song that I did guitar on, it's in standard tuning. This song, capo on the 4th fret, and when I'm giving out the fret numbers, it'll be in relation to the capo. So this, without the capo, would be 5th fret, but it'd be fret number 1 in relation to the capo, you know what I mean? So again, it's mainly just with the C and the G chord shape. So ring finger, 3rd fret A string, middle finger, 2nd fret D string. Instead of your index finger sitting on the 1st fret of the B string, I let it ring out open because it sounds more dreamy, you know? So instead of, it's that, you know? Other than that though, same chords. So intro acoustic bit, you're just strumming those 2 chords. The G chord shape, middle finger on the 3rd of the low E string, index on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then you kick into the distortion bit, the chorus. We'll call it the chorus riff. You go from the G shape to a power chord on the 5th fret of the E string, the low E string, 7th on the A string. You just strum it, and then power chord, 3rd fret on the A string, 5th on the D string. Just like that. That's the chorus riff. Literally, it's just. And then the verse with the electric, it's the same as the intro. You're just strumming C and G. Occasionally, when you kick in between the verse and the chorus, I liked to add a fret in between the G shape and the power chord, so it'll be like that. And then the outro thing, it's just the He Was a Good Stalker song from Stalker. But I'll give you the tutorial anyways. It's so for the first chord shape, you're gonna let the low E hang out. You strum that first, and then it'll be middle finger, 4th fret of the G string, ring finger, 5th fret of the B string, and then your index finger, 3rd fret of the high E, and you strum it in this pattern. Right? And then you switch chords. Instead of the bass note being the E, you move up to the A. And then all you have to do in between those first 2 chords is shift your middle finger up a fret. So instead of the G being on the 4th fret, it's the 5th fret. And you pluck it in the same pattern. So that's the first chord. The next chord, it's just a D chord, so open D string as your bass note, and then middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and index on the 2nd fret of the E string, the high E. So it'll sound like it's the same strumming pattern too. And then this next chord's a little tricky. I am weird and I play this wrong, but I put my thumb on the 3rd fret of the low E, and the chord is ring finger on the 4th fret of the G string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and index on the 2nd fret of the high E. Same strumming pattern. or no, this one, instead of, going high, low, low, it's kind of looping, so you hit that bass note twice. The next chord, you just need your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string as the bass note. And the chord is open G, index on the 1st fret of the B string, and then an open high E. The next chord is 2nd fret of the low E, and then your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Your index stays on the 1st fret of the B, and the high E remains open. So, and the last chord is a bit tricky. You bar from the A string up on the 2nd fret, and your pinky is gonna go on, or your pinky or your ring. The pinky's easier for me, but either finger works. On the 4th fret of the B string, and that's your chord. And it's those same chords. It starts out strumming, and then the next part where it gets loud, you're basically just same chord shapes, same progression, all that, but you're just strumming the fuck out of the strings, the high strings. You don't really need to worry about the bass notes on that part. You just strum the fuck out of it with a lot of distortion. And then the next part, it's same chord, same progression, but it's a different groove. So it's for the bass, you just kind of like that. You bum 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 bum. I don't know how to describe it. I don't do music notation well, but it should sound like. So you just hit that twice, and then strum the chord. So for that chord, I like to accent the G and the B. So instead of strumming, I do the. So it'll sound like. That last one, I like to strum it like to kind of accent it, and then you just do it again. And that's track 4.